Not being polite.
Please don't document it.
All right, could I have everybody's attention? I'd like to call the Missouri Western State University Board of Governors meeting to order. And I'd like to hear from the Personnel, Finance, and Operations Committee Chair, Governor Landis.
The Missouri Western University Personnel, Finance, and Operations Committee met to hear evidence presented by Dr. Kennedy and Vice President Morrison concerning the financial state of the university. At this time, I present to the Board of Governors the following recommendations. The Personnel, Finance, and Operation Committee recommends to the Board of Governors that they approve the removal of the state of emergency or state of financial emergency from the university.
Okay, do we have a motion to that order? Governor Williman, do we have a second? Yes.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, Governor, if it's appropriate, I'd like to offer some commentary for this. So let me first of all say good afternoon, governors and our esteemed guests. I appreciate the opportunity to meet with you at this special meeting, which follows from the earlier meeting of our Personnel, Finance, and Operations Committee. At that meeting, we heard testimony presented to the board's Personnel, Finance, and Operations Committee. This is a committee which has the responsibility of, quote, addressing matters pertaining to the human resources of the university, budget and finance, and other operational matters as necessary, and which is to provide general oversight of the strategic plan objectives and university goals within these areas, and to consider overall implications related to long-term planning. This committee has been charged with providing to you, the Board of Governors, its recommendation related to our financial position in consideration of where we have been, but also where we are now and where we believe our future trajectory is headed. What was presented to the Personnel, Finance, and Operations Committee was not new information, because over the course of the past 2 years, the entire board has been kept informed about the progress the university has made, about the innovations and initiatives deployed in response to our status, and about the many measures undertaken to ameliorate Missouri Western's state of financial emergency, to move the university forward. Over these past 2 years, the entire board has asked tough questions, has provided good guidance and oversight. You have all been good stewards of the university, and everyone at Missouri Western is indebted to the service and leadership you have provided to our university. We are most grateful for it. So please know that based upon what was presented to the Personnel, Finance, and Operations Committee and their solid support of the direction that the university has embarked upon to lift the state of financial emergency that it has been under, I am happy to provide the following 4-point summary of that information in support of the forthcoming recommendation. First of all, over the past 2 years, Missouri Western has put financial policies, procedures, and controls in place to make the phrase living within our means a reality. We are operating within a prescribed budget, taking steps to ensure that resources are used efficiently and responsibly. We have built a complete budget, provided education and training across campus, and implemented ongoing and monitoring to ensure proper oversight. We have deployed the critical actions necessary to not only survive in a state of financial emergency, but also to create the conditions for the university to thrive well into the future. Secondly, Missouri Western has developed strong student engagement and enrollment management practices to meet student needs and create an environment where students can have a rich campus experience. The university has implemented a robust recruitment plan, engaging students across the state through meaningful relationship building with admissions counselors and increasing our targeted outreach. Last fall, the university worked to enhance student experience on campus. Our students were eager to come back. They were eager to come back to in-person classes, and we were so pleased to have so many activities available to them. Thirdly, the university has worked to provide high-quality academic programming that is relevant and meets student demand as well as regional workforce needs. Through academic program review and the realignment of colleges and academic departments, we are creating a structure that supports student success in our technology-based and professional degree programs. The university is providing strategic course offerings so that students can make good progress and momentum towards graduation. And we have engaged in a number of initiatives, all of which were designed to support student success, foster faculty professional growth and development, and maintain rigorous, high-quality, in-demand programming as the centerpiece of the university's academic offerings. And finally, Missouri Western and the education students receive here are integral to the success of our community. Missouri Western is student-focused and committed to meeting its mission of offering a high-quality college education that is both affordable and accessible. We provide our students with the skills and education they need to be successful, and we help drive workforce development in St. Joseph, Northwest Missouri, and beyond. Missouri Western has the special designation as the state's official applied learning institution. This means that our students are engaged in hands-on learning opportunities side by side with our faculty. They take what they learn in the classroom and apply it in real-world situations, business, industry, healthcare, education, just to name a few. The university has taken important steps to make strategic, data-driven decisions to create a culture where students are successful and faculty and staff are supported. In sum, Missouri Western is integral to the success of our community and our region, and the support of our community and region is equally vital to the university's success. We are dedicated to building and fortifying those important relationships at every level. Finally, in closing, there is good support for the recommendation to remove the state of financial emergency from the university. We cannot cut our way to prosperity. We've learned that. We have to look for opportunities for growth. And these 2 years, while they have been challenging, we know that today we are stronger and better prepared for the future. As we've discussed today, the positive changes in our financial indicators, coupled with advancements in student affairs and enrollment management, as well as in academic affairs, highlight the successful impact of the university's efforts over the last 2 years. I am greatly encouraged by the hard work and dedication shown by the entire Missouri Western campus community. Now, governors, now is the time. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, President Kennedy. Any other comments or discussion?
Actually, Chairman Ebersol, I'd like to, if you'd indulge me for a moment or two, I feel like I'm the somewhat of the board historian with the lengthy tenure of 3 years on the board. But for that, I've had a front row seat for what has gone on during that time. That was enhanced was privileged to serve as vice chair from July 2019 to 2020 and as chair from July 2020 through 2021, which is during the time that our financial situation was investigated, of which these measures were taken to address this. And I will apologize somewhat in advance if I become emotional a little bit, is sentimental, looking back through this time, because this has been a fantastic board, and we've had tremendous leadership at the administration and people that don't get thanked enough for implementing these tasks that this board mandated on this university that they did not ask for, but we directed them to, and they've come through. And as a public institution, we are the public's university. We are St. Joseph's University. We're the university for the region and for countless alumni and other stakeholders to this place that love it as much as we do. And so I know that our board accepts that responsibility and doesn't take that lightly. And so whenever there are questions about the commitment, the integrity, or even the heart of some of the decisions that this board has made, I will take that personally. We should be looked at with a critical eye as to the ultimate decisions that we make. But as to those cornerstone values that this board has encompassed with this current board and board members that served during this time that aren't part of this anymore, that were also very valuable with that and played their role. And I thank them as well. And it's appropriate that everything we do is not in the public eye. No one serves in this capacity for any reason other than their love of this university and what each of us personally brings to the table to think that we can better this institution and keep it strong and viable and a leader for generations to come. And it was a really bad joke at my office for a while that if I didn't work for myself, I would have fired myself because the amount of time that was spent, maybe it wasn't always as fruitful and productive as we would have liked, but I know each and every other board member was doing the exact same thing, was reviewing documents, was looking for alternatives to the situation we were in. And this board pressed the leadership of this university to come up with alternatives, to come up with all kinds of different plans. We didn't just measure once or twice, we measured dozens of times because we took it personally, we took it seriously. The people that were impacted, the students that were impacted, the community as a whole that was impacted by this. And I can't thank the work that the board, administration, leadership, the university as a whole, countless volunteers have spent to help, the foundation stepping up, the support of true Griffins in the community that wanted the best for this university, that wanted and may not agree with every decision that we do because we're all humans. We have made mistakes, but the heart has always been in the right place. And so the true Griffins that have stepped up to say, how can I help? I would love to be able to list all of those people, but as I jotted down a couple dozen, I know I would miss 5 times that many, and everybody else here could do the same thing. And to get to this point where we had hoped to be, we hoped we'd never be here, but we had pushed this administration to, are we at this point 6 months ago, 3 months ago? And it was always, we need to go through this mercurially. We need to go through this deliberately. We don't always know what the future is going to be, but we want to avoid the past problems. As Governor Landis pointed out during our lengthy finance meeting, that we look at history so that we can try and not have the same problems in the future. There were countless questions asked during our finance committee meeting. Sometimes when these public meetings get out, whether it's online, which I love, I hated that the pandemic brought it on, but I love that we have expanded the platform, expanded the audience, because we do want concerned eyes watching this and to help us with this. It truly does take a community. But during some of those meetings that aren't online or that people don't or aren't able to show up to, there's countless questions asked. There are meetings that go on with the board and leadership. The chair and the vice chair have meetings with the president before every board meeting to go over the agenda, to get their input, to have our leaders weigh in on what's going to be done. We see all these reports in advance. So when questions aren't always asked in this forum, it's because they've been asked 15 different ways before. And so I am so excited that we are moving on to the next chapter. We have a historic and wonderful history here at Missouri Western State University, but I'm even more excited about what the future holds for that. And we have given ridiculously tough tasks to so many here at the university, and you have delivered. You have delivered that over and over, and this is truly a great day to be a Griffin, and I cannot echo my offer my thanks or echo the support for this motion anymore on that. But thank you to everyone, to all our board members who this is not an honorarium. This is not a paid position. That seems to be no one here has a financial stake. It's done as a labor of love for this university. And this is not simply an honorarium where you show up ever so often so then you can get, to go to the football game or shake hands at graduation. Those are wonderful things. Graduation ceremony is my favorite time because that is a culmination of what we're about. But this is what the work of this board is. And I am just so thankful for our current leadership, our chair, our vice chair, all our board members. And I apologize for rambling on, but this has been a long 2 years, and I am just so excited for where we're at. When you're in the middle of it, you don't always get to look. You're just trying to get through the situation. Mm-hmm. Now, as I see that bright light there, it is tremendous. And so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Teeman. Any other comments? Governor Landis?
As I brought up when I was talking about it, who shot John? If I hear anybody else want to go back and try to figure that out, I will be disappointed. Several people asked me that question. And I've had them ask the question about when do you think you're going to be able to remove this? If people aren't jumping for joy because this come off after that, I question their ability and faith in this university and everything. Forget us here, but we got students out there as business people in here. That's the product that we're here to produce. The negative thinking anymore does nothing but hurt. We can all go back, and like I said, hindsight's 2020. We would change a lot of different things in the course of this. I sure hope everybody goes back and goes home happy that we are where we are. We've got a trend that we got to keep going. Other than that, I have no opinion.
Well, that's quite refreshing, Governor Landis. But
It's amazing is what it is. This is definitely a diary moment for Alex.
Yeah, so you're right.
Okay, without any further discussion, we'll vote on the motion on the table. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All against, say nay. And the motion is carried. Before we end, I would like to thank the administration. Definitely a watershed moment here in several perspectives. But I'd like to thank the administration and the faculty and the staff here at Missouri Western for doing the things that they've done, as Lee pointed out, over the last 2 to 3 years. And I'd like to thank the board members, especially the Finance Personnel Committee. These 3 people have done a great job. It was hard and difficult, but you got it done. And I personally thank you as chairman. And I want to thank President Kennedy, Vice President Morrison for their hard work and sticking with the plan and getting us to the finish line here. And just as importantly, I want to thank the students. It would have been very easy for a great number of our students to have left in the middle of our crisis. And then a great majority of them have stuck with us. And to me, that is the hallmark of our university here. So thank you, students. And Nathan, as student governor, thank you, you and your staff. I appreciate everybody that's came today. And with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.